With Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to... Has anyone seen the bride and groom?
Sorry, we're here. We were getting lucky in the limo and we lost track of time.
No, Lucky Land Casino, with cash prizes that add up quicker than a guest registry.
In that case, I pronounce you lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Daily bonuses are waiting. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
The Podcast Playground.
Hooray!
You are now entering the Whose House podcast.
Yeah, another edition of Whose House, and I don't know, is it a Glass House or is it a Whose House?
It's Glass
podcast?
House today.
This is a Glass House podcast?
Yeah, Glass House, man. We got
You
a special
remixing
guest
it today?
Yeah.
How'd you find the owner? Like, were you jogging in the mountains in Calabasas or something? How'd you find this guy?
Through our homeboy, man, our family member, Marcus.
Marcus, who looks like a motorcyclist today with his leather top.
Yeah, that's an expensive jacket, man.
He like just rolled in with some crazy white boys.
That's an expensive coat, man.
Whatever you say, man. John, are you somewhere in here?
Yep, I'm always around, haunting the place.
You're like every time I got a white guest, I need you around.
Exactly. Makes you feel comfortable.
You're like, comfortability.
Smooth things over.
Not for me. I'm cool.
Oh.
I don't want him to be uncomfortable. There's a lot of black people in here.
Kyle, don't worry. I'm here for you.
I want him to know that there's another weird white guy in here. We're good, all right? You sure? You
Yep.
safe?
Yes. We are good.
All right, man.
I got his back. I got your back.
I feel like we all should feel safe, with John. John is a prized boxing fighter, and we have some highlights we'll show later. But let's get into this guest. Let's talk about our guest.
My boy got 6 million square feet property, which is the largest cultivation in Cali, right? It got to be the largest ever. Is there anybody else
in the world? What you mean in Cali? In the world, my man.
I mean, we're not talking about El Chapo or fucking the kids of like Mexican drug lords. This is like legal stuff. This is here in the States. We got Kyle. Am I saying this right? Kazan or Kazan?
Kazan.
Oh, so I had a feeling it'd be Kazan because I just saw the movie Shazam and I was like, watch it be not Shazam, it's Kazan.
I'm back in the 5th grade again. Nobody missed that.
You went through hell when you were young.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
With that last name, right?
That's right.
What we got here, he brought us some gifts before we start this interview, and I want to see what's in here. Let's go through. Damn, this is heavy. He makes us look whack. Like, we give people gifts. This is unheard of.
Yeah, we got to step it up.
There's like 30 items in here, and we could do a whole podcast with all the stuff in here. But what is this? We got this thing called this live resin. What is this? Fatso.
So Fatso is the strain, and it's a field made in L.A. vape pen.
It's a pen.
Ooh.
It's really tasty. Live resin. It's
some strong stuff.
You're gonna like it. Yeah.
What is that? It's like resin. Like
nah, it's just when you it's like what you smoke and inhale in the vape.
Oh, I thought it was like a taste thing. Like all right.
So they've got distillate, which is kind of the low end. Then you got live resin, which is middle, and then you got rosin, which is the best. But those are hard to get in vape pens. They get so sticky.
Oh, okay. Get out of here, for real. What's this jellyfish thing?
So that's what I was telling Nina. That stuff it's very high CBD, low THC. So you can just take it during the day if you don't want to get the head high. You'll feel the body relaxation. And then sometimes, like certainly Fridays and Sundays, for whatever reason, I go heavy on it and it slows my brain without making me like a goldfish where I can't remember what you said 2 seconds ago.
Oh, get out of here. It's like a muscle relaxer?
It's muscle, but it's got the THC. So if you do like the whole dropper, put it under your tongue for 2-3 minutes, about 20 minutes later, you're going to find yourself really chilling.
She got a big booty. How long is it going to take to get down there? All right, let me stop. Let me get out of there. The Me Too shit is serious out here. All right, we got the
shit, you just got canceled already.
Oh, yeah, I'm canceled. Raiders fans are going to cancel me today. I'll tell you that. Blood orange sour. This is obviously this is the flower. This is your specialty, or this is like your legalized strain. Like, is it like?
So we're always mixing up the strains. Out here in California.
Okay.
Yeah, in California, if you don't have a new strain selection, it's like almost playing the same record 2 years ago. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
May work in other states, doesn't work in California.
Yeah.
Wow.
So How often are you guys coming out with new strands, and what's the kind of process behind that? How do you guys come up with the new strands?
So,
who are the guys? I know y'all got some secret guys that I can't shout out because you guys keep them in a dungeon.
Come on now. So what's cool in California is a lot of times you do shout them out and just kind of give them their due because this is what they do. So,
yeah, but you don't want other companies stealing them from you, giving them more money. So I don't think you want to shout them out.
I hear what you're saying. We got to get a dungeon going. I don't want to get myself canceled. I'm going to be canceled with you next. Get a bunch of Raider fans in the dungeon to work on this. But what I would tell you is like some of the ones we've been doing lately are from Sea Junkie, Beezy and Wes out there in the valley, and they come up with some crazy, like they have Permanent Marker that just came out, and that's the big strain right now.
Okay,
and so we get some fresh stuff from them as well.
Nice.
And so yeah, we just have to keep coming out with it all the time because people going to the stores are like, yeah, I like that last one, but they're looking around for the new.
So they're behind Blood Orange and they're behind Garlic Juice.
I'm not sure which ones are Sea Junkie strains. We do have some others that we work with as well.
So let's say I'm a total idiot, which I am. How do I figure out if it's powerful or not? Like where do I look?
So right now, and I don't really like the way the world is the world and the market is the market. Right now they look for THC percentage, and the higher the THC, the better. But I'll tell you, I bet you everybody in this room would likes a good wine. Nobody in this room is going to go, hey, what's the alcohol content? How high can it get?
Yeah.
So I like the taste, and but we do have those are probably all north of 25% of the THC level.
That's so high.
And the other way to think about it that I tell people is sativa sort of keeps you up, and indica is into couch. So if you see indica, you're going to be just chilling out, relaxing, and it's a good feel.
Yeah.
But sativas, for those that like to smoke and kind of function and do stuff, that's kind of that's your strength.
Do you see how we market or measure cannabis changing soon though? Like you said, everybody goes based off THC level. What are some other factors or other measures that you could use for cannabis or to market it?
One of the things that you find, and I'm always asking why is it this way, and I can get into that, but everybody looks at indoor, like grown in a room like this studio, as the Rolex of cannabis, and they'll pay extra for it. But if you look at what it actually does, number one, would you feel better about eating an orange that you got in a room like this versus something that was grown in the sun, which is the best light in the world? And I'm going to give you an example of why you may not want to do that. The state of Massachusetts uses 10% of its electrical grid today to grow cannabis.
Damn.
So that's really shitty on the environment. And by the way, can I say shitty?
Yeah, you say fucked up shit.
Okay.
First saw John randomly.
I'm old, man. I don't want to get like the
me too.
A label or something.
Don't say that word.
And my mom, she's gonna be listening to this going, that's your vocabulary.
Let's be buds, man. Let's keep it calm.
I like that.
Politically, let's be buds. You know what I'm saying? Let's be you like friends. Like, but it's weed. Like,
I get
okay, that's what
it was a dad joke.
It's very urban. It's very urban.
It was a dad joke that's kind of bad, but it's all good. It's all good.
Try to bring him to our level, don't act like you're the only black guy here. There's 2 white guys here. It's 2 against 1, or 3 against 1. Sorry, John, I miscalculated.
I can take it.
You do know this feels like back in my basketball career. I was like the only guy. I was the only white guy in the room.
Really? How'd you survive?
How'd I survive? Sometimes I don't even know, man. When I went to junior college, and they're like cracking on me, I'm going, I'm not understanding.
Yeah.
And they're just like cracking up on it. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah. And it took me a second to get my sea legs. And then once I had it, I'm like, all right, I'd rather be on this bus than on the white bus that I was in high school with.
So you were like White Man Can't Jump before the movie came out.
I was White Man Can't Jump.
That's crazy. You busted the ass, yo.
I love going out to Venice Beach. When I saw that, I was like, this is good.
That's what I always pictured about hooping in California, that movie, White Man Can't Jump.
That was real out there. They had real games. Like we were talking about the Rucker before.
Yeah.
I never got to play the Rucker, but I got to play Venice Beach a lot. And I'll tell you what, there were some games where, if you weren't ready to fight, probably shouldn't have showed up out there.
They used you as secret weapons out there? Like, they bring you up and they laugh at you, then you bust ass?
My favorite thing was some Urkel dude shows up, and I'm like, and they know that I actually play college basketball, and they still go with the Urkel guy. And I'm like, okay. We'll see how this goes. You better not have him guarding me because we're going to be 3-0. You got about 4 games to wait.
Damn.
This is going to cost you.
It's always the best. I mean, I coached AAU basketball in Brooklyn, and I was coaching in, like, Coney Island, like, in really bad areas. But I had this one white kid on my team, and he had the most confidence, so he was our star player. And anytime we would go into another, team's gym to play, they would be surprised by the end of the game. They're like, yo, that white boy's tough, man. The other coach would be like, man, that white boy is tough. What the hell y'all got him doing? I'm like, got him playing in the hood, man. He played in the hood 5 days out the week. That's going to rub off on him. So
well, I'll tell you, I used to play the run, shoot, and dunk league down at Crenshaw High School. I was like the only white guy in the gym. And I remember I used to get mad. Like if I did a good cross and then I went in for reverse, where maybe to get the hooting and hollering that I got, if you were black, you had to dunk it.
Yeah.
And I didn't dunk it, and I felt like I was being patronized. I'd be running back pissed. Like don't do that. Like if you're not gonna do it for a black guy, don't do it for me.
Yeah.
I'm a basketball player, not a white basketball player.
Just a player at the end of the day.
They call it the white tax.
It is.
It's a white tax.
But hey, you got to make up for it sometimes.
Sometimes you got to make up.
Is there like no time period for basketball? Is it like, it's just a different time period, but it's always the same stories, same elements of what's going on. It's just up, like I guess the gear is updated.
The game evolves, I think, for sure, but I think there's still the same fundamental values that you get no matter what era of basketball you're playing. It's a team sport.
How the hell did they play with kids back then? Like I don't understand that shit. Man. Now they got Jordans, all these futuristic sneakers. Motherfuckers had no socks back then.
I don't know, but
how did y'all do that?
Well, I love that. Yeah, what I play in Keds. I love that. I love
you playing in Keds too? Did you play in Keds?
I was playing soccer back then.
Oh, okay.
we had no socks either in cleats. But I'm talking about kids with those socks fucked up.
So we all found out that Coach Ravlin was making like $500,000 a year from Nike to be a Nike school, and we got free shoes. So we were like,
damn,
wow, we're on the wrong end of this, except these are nice shoes.
Yeah.
Coach Ravlin had nice clothes.
Damn, yeah. He got nice everything.
He had nice everything.
You ever interacted with some crazy legends, like randomly, like being out here in Cali?
You're talking about on the court, on the hardwood?
On the court, on the hardwood. Like anybody that you just randomly ran into, and you're just like, oh my God, I did play with that guy.
So my teammate, my shooting partner was a guy named Harold Miner, who won a couple. He won a couple of slam dunk contests.
Wow.
So and then 3 of the 6 guards my senior year went to the NBA.
Wow.
In case you were wondering, no.
Did you play all 4?
I played 1 year in junior college and 3 at USC.
Nice, that's amazing.
Look, it was a really fun time, and then playing against Hank Gathers.
Wow!
That dude was going to go to the NBA and do some damage.
Damn.
So there were a bunch of guys like that I was lucky enough to get on the court with.
How was the fans back then? Like especially like in there with the groupies and all that. It was crazy like that. Like God damn, USC like
so.
Era.
So I just saw my teammates, and I don't want them to get all upset because I'm sure they're going to be listening to this. I will just say this: you would have been happier if you're a USC football player. You guys may have noticed it's more of a football school.
Yeah. Sure.
But there was still some interest from the opposite sex, just kind of wandering around. So if you had a good hand, you could play. A lot of my teammates didn't have good hands.
Oh,
I had to help.
So you was dishing on and off the court.
There's probably people pulling over all pissed off right now.
You gotta do some research.
So back in USC, were your teammates using cannabis at the time while you were playing? Was that looked down upon, or how was
we
that?
all got drug tested, and it was real.
So it was a death penalty back then.
It was a problem, and so we didn't do that. And the sad thing was, they had a doctor named Dr. Semmel, shoot 'em up Semmel. So he'd be quick to put a shot in your butt to keep you out there on the court, but they weren't doing. I mean, they had opioids, they had all that other kind of stuff. So yeah, it was bad.
Opioids. Wow. I don't know why. I don't know what that is. What is that?
So think of just painkillers, and they're highly addictive.
Oh, okay.
Like OxyContin that they have out there today. Some of the stuff. So
I got that from my dentist yesterday. I'm feeling nice right now. Oh shit! I got stitched about.
But I'll tell you what, we have a lot of investors that play in the NFL and the NBA, and the worst kept secret is 99% of the NFL players, 99% of the NBA players smoke cannabis. They don't feel comfortable doing it on camera right now, but you'd hear about the medicinal value of it. It's not just to get high; it's to relax the brain and the body. It's a good plant. And yeah, in the 80s, I mean, look, I remember I wasn't even allowed to drink water because they said it would give you a cramp. And then if you threw up, they would applaud you while you're actually dying of heat stroke. So it was like the Flintstones back then.
It's like misinformation, just didn't know, bad news, false news.
I mean, they told us that too in soccer. Don't drink water before you, because there's a lot of running, a lot of stamina. But that's why I play midfield, so I don't run a lot. I just headbutt like.
He was the only one in the family that played soccer. Though,
so wait, you played soccer and I played basketball.
Well, I played soccer when soccer wasn't cool in America. They were like, "Why is
that's true though. It was true.
Now everybody's on the nuts. You know what I'm saying? Now it's coming here now. Ain't the next?
Because we come from a Caribbean family, so my dad grew up playing soccer. His dad grew up playing. Everybody played soccer. But for me, growing up in the States, I'm like, hell no, I ain't playing soccer. I played soccer for like 2 years.
This guy's a hater.
And I was good, but I was just influenced by my friends at the time. I went and put on some football pads, and I got annihilated first game.
So you
took them shits off.
So my dad told me. So my dad was like, hey, you're better at soccer than basketball when I got to high school. So I went out to the CIF championship at our high school. We had one of the best teams. Nobody was there.
What?
It was standing room only in basketball. So you know what I chose. And it was just like pure ego. I wanted to be loved.
It's funny you say that because that's how it was. Like when we had issues with like Jamaicans and other Caribbean teams. But when you go to Long Island with the white kids, man, they were so professional. They would kick our asses, man. And there's nobody in the fucking, like, that's the only thing I was happy about. Nobody saw us get our asses kicked, man. There was nobody there. But our records was out there. And the white kids was like menacing.
I remember that.
Menacing white kids.
Like they were kicking, you know how you see like basketball, like young basketball players in down south versus like the rich kids in Long Island, like Jewish and black, everybody's playing together for fun. Like only in New York they play for fun, right? Because they want the kids to be like mentally cool. In down south, fuck you, motherfucker, get out there, kick, we winning this shit. Like I was like, yo, and it's on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like it's real, right?
No, it's real. I mean, for me, my senior year, I lost the state title to an all-white team. You know, our team was majority black kids, but it wasn't about athleticism. They played the right way. They just played fundamental basketball. They
came
used
there to kick
35
ass.
seconds of the shot clock. They kept passing the ball.
It wasn't even racist. It was just like, oh man, these white boys gonna kick our ass. They do everything textbook. Like, it's
but I didn't go into
ridiculous.
it thinking that though. I went into my game thinking we were gonna destroy them. Nah, for real. It was like,
really,
it's gonna be. We were like, this is cakewalk. We thinking like, there's no way they could fuck with us.
Yeah, then you got your ass
and
kicked.
Then we got from the first play. We're like, oh shit, these dudes is nice. They could hoop.
So imagine being you. Because I like to just play like freeform. I played at a school like that, and it was like being in a robotics competition. Like you run to here, you screen there, you do this, you do that, and you don't make a mistake. You let the other team make the mistake.
That's what I'm saying, man. You guys are so fucking perfect.
Let me put it this way: that is not a fun way to play basketball.
I get it.
Like does that even sound fun?
Yeah, you winning shit.
Oh. Yeah, when you're holding up the state title and we over here playing ISO ball and got lost by 30, hell yeah, that shit's fun. I want the title, man.
They gave me an orange, yo. I hated that shit, man. They used to give me like oranges and shit. What did you get, man? You got like a burger and shit, pizza.
You guys are crazy. This
fucked up, man. My coach would cut all these oranges and give us like a piece, not even a full orange, like a piece of it. And that's our gift. For like winning that day.
I think they were trying to make sure I wasn't dehydrated.
Nah, it was winning. Like, and then maybe we get one cookie from the freaking animal crackers. Like I always get the lion. I don't know why. And then if we win like the champion, we get pizza. We get like everybody gets a box of pizza. Meanwhile, the other kids are like they got a fucking Mercedes-Benz tour bus. They got like artists over there. They got like a celebrity over there. Like I think what's the name of the one that played Rocky? Sylvester Stallone was at one of them one time. We ain't got nobody over here, man.
I didn't have that experience.
I hate life. So, you know what I'm saying?
You know, this was a long time ago. I didn't even know Sylvester Stallone was coming to Queens, man.
No, he was in Long Island. He hosted like one of the soccer games. We had nobody. We made believe this guy was Pele, so we could like. I mean, we had to, man. It's like, this is Pele, but whatever. Let's get out of there, man.
That is unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't know how much of that is true, but there may be some bits of that is true, though. But
I mean, obviously you quit I mean, how fast did you get into becoming a cop? Like, bring this cop thing into, because that's crazy. Like, you went from like, doing some wild shit, and now you just like super legal. Like, you can't even like
back to robotics.
Yeah, like you were like the Transformers and shit. You know what I'm saying?
So 4 years in between basketball at USC and policing, I was an inner city special ed teacher. So if you think of the Rodney King riots of April of '92, that was like everything around me burned down, and it was pretty crazy. So. I went from that, and then what amazed me was it almost doubled my salary from teaching kids to being a law enforcement officer.
It's the most dangerous job, right? L.A.
My wife, she was my girlfriend back then. She thought it was more dangerous being an inner city school teacher than being a police officer. Because police officer, you're geared to try and protect yourself and everything else. Your teacher. You got, and we were surrounded by different gangs and stuff like that. So it was like, be careful about wearing purple. Be careful about wearing brown. Obviously, blue and red.
The
could be a
school
problem.
teachers?
Yeah. They just, because you could be caught in the wrong place at the wrong time wearing the wrong color. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden in a split, they make a mistake. And, you want to like trust them.
You had a hoodie on or something? Like, if I saw you wearing blue, I'd be like, this is a school teacher, man. There's
that basketball guy again. That robotic basketball guy, probably not a gang member.
Oh my God! So it's like, I mean, we always used to watch, like, being in the East Coast, and we watch movies and TV shows. So it really was like that. Like, it was. I thought they were exaggerated, like, especially like the school TV shows, and they show like gang life, and they're outside. They always be outside the school. Look, what up, cuz? Yo, we outside, cuz. And the school teacher's like. I don't know why they get Samuel Jackson to be the teacher or something, but it's always like some like white teacher going against like gangbangers. That's real. Like, I don't know. Am I exaggerating? I don't know.
I think Hollywood may simplify things a little bit, but just for the movie, get it done in 2 hours. Goldie Hawn, taking on the gangs,
that's what I was
making friends and saving their lives.
Goldie Hawn, like, come on, man.
It's ridiculous, right?
Did you believe that, man? I don't know if you saw this, but Goldie Hawn was like a school teacher that went up against like, and she won like against gangbangers.
I mean, I didn't believe it, but the story was cool. You feel me? Like, it was a good story.
John believed that, man. You look like you were in that school.
No, I've been around a little bit.
Did you see that Goldie Hawn went against gangbangers and won?
I vaguely recall that. What is that?
I forgot the name of the movie, but I saw that. That's my era. Me and him is the same age, so we saw everything come into play.
She was like a football coach or something, and like, got outraged by the gangs. She decided to fix it.
And she fixed it.
She fixed it.
Why isn't she president?
By the way, I just for exactly.
Why is she running the country right now?
Couldn't do worse.
Right?
By the way, if you want to see my school, watch the movie Menace to Society at the very beginning. As they're panning in on Jordan High School, you'll see this playground. That was my playground. Wow. And right next door was Jordan Downs Housing Project where they filmed. So my special ed kids would come from Nickerson Gardens, Imperial Courts. There, look at that.
Look, Wildcats. That's the movie. Wildcats.
This is a big time show. Yeah. That you pull stuff. Is that John?
There's a white guy. There's always a white guy that gets all the information. That's why he's here.
Look at that. You see her like just
chilling.
Just like, oh, no, she's just frustrated. Yeah. Like, I'm dealing with nonsense, but I'm going to fix it.
Shout out to Hardin, Las Vegas, the best dispensary in the world.
So back from teaching to policing, you was talking about, working with the inner city, then going to police. What was that transition like?
So just so you know where my head was at, wasn't like, hey, I got sand kicked in my face. I'm going to be a police officer. I'm going to go take on the world and fix my own ego. It wasn't anything like that. I was out there buying real estate for my like my wife or girlfriend at the time, now wife, our future retirement.
Oh wow!
And so I was like, so I can make more money, and also I liked being part of a team, and so I was just like, this looks pretty fun. I'd watch Cops at night. I'm like, it looks kind of fun, and then all of a sudden I'm in the police academy, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make. My wife's like, look, you don't listen. I go, well, I was coachable. Anyway, so I make it through, and all of a sudden I found myself in the middle of the drug war. Wow. I learned so much about society and how policing, by being in the middle of the drug war, that I was like, this is wrong on every level. And by the way, I made a lot of arrests. If you look at the internet, it would make it seem like I arrested every cannabis person in California. That's not true.
They got it out there like that.
Oh, I'm like Darth Vader in California.
Damn, man.
I'm not liked in
because you're doing good as well too, though. That's why.
We there's a lot of pain in the California market because what we have here right now is like, picture Iowa, all the corn farmers, and all of a sudden the federal government goes, yeah, you can only sell that corn in Iowa. What do you think's going to happen? All those corn farmers. We have people committing suicide up in the Emerald Triangle. Good people that if they could sell their wares to people that want it and let the government actually listen to people, you'd see a much more open market. You'd see a better situation, and you wouldn't have people killing themselves and hating me.
Yeah.
So we can start with hating me. Like, stop that.
I mean, you were in the mix of that shit. Like, I can imagine, like, were police aware that it was coming from somewhere else? I mean, they were arresting everybody here, but were y'all aware that it's coming from somewhere else and this ain't right? You said everything ain't right about it. Like,
so, when you look at, how do you measure your show? You look at ratings, you look at things like that, right? You look at clicks on things. As a police officer, you look at felony arrests. Are you out there hooking and booking? Now, the low-hanging fruit is the drug war. And so all of a sudden you're like, man, that's just like too easy to just like, when you're playing Miss Pac-Man, it's like, oh, that's an easy row right there. Because you got guys that are drug addicts. Mainly I was arresting people for methamphetamine, a lot of tweakers in the city. And it just became, when my wife pinned my badge on me when I got out of the academy, I didn't think that I was going to be saving you from you. Hey, what do you got in your pocket? That could hurt you, so I'm going to take you to jail so you don't hurt you.
Oh, wow.
Like and then as you start to get to know these folks, because now they're like, hey, what can I do? And then they start telling about the dealers and stuff like that. And I'm a pretty affable guy. Like, I love talking to you guys. And the same thing, guys in the streets, they just have a drug problem. And then I remember there was a time, and so now I'm looked at as a well-respected officer. I'm out there taking guns off the street, taking a lot of people off the street for drugs, taking drug houses out. And I remember this guy named Mark, and he said, Kyle, I'm ready. I'm like, what are you ready for, Mark? He's like, I'm ready for rehab. Can you take me to rehab? Now, me, at that time, now I'm syndicating large apartment complexes. I'm raising money for investors. Everything's about the numbers. So all of a sudden I stop and I go, Mark, I got a badge, I got handcuffs, I got a gun, I got jail. I don't have rehab. And then I thought, how much cheaper would it be? One, I could stay in the street and maybe stop a car from getting stolen or a burglary from happening, answer a domestic much quicker. Instead, I'm sitting there going, it was like a thunderbolt when it hit me going, this doesn't make any sense. This guy's asking for help. He wants help. Society would be better served giving him the help and keeping me on the street. And also, so that was Torrance, where they appreciated us taking drug houses out. My wife grew up in a black area of a city called Carson, down over there by the 405, 110. One day I'm picking her up. We're both in junior college where I met her. And she's getting in the car, and two guys are standing like 3 doors down. I'm like, hey, Diane. And she's like, hey, guys. She gets in the car. I go, who are those dudes? She goes, those are the so-and-so brothers. And I go, oh, what do they do? She goes, they sell drugs. I go,
oh, shit.
Who knows this? She goes, everybody. I go, neighborhood? She goes, yeah. Cops? Uh-huh. I'm like, are they bad guys? She goes, no. So the neighborhood is going to look at the invading element, the police officers who don't live there, and they're going to go take these guys to jail. So then when someone actually like steals a bike or does something, the neighborhood will say, hey, that's bullshit. They're not going to talk to the cops, though, because the cops are in an invading force and they're playing a stupid game in the drug war.
Damn.
And so you just look at it from those two angles and you're going, there's a much better way to do it. So for many years, I've been arguing legalize and regulate all drugs. Now, before you go, crack, everybody jumps on me about it, and I say, look, it's the least worst option. All this fentanyl stuff that's getting into cocaine and everything else that's killing people, if people could buy heroin and some of the other stuff, and again, I don't think people should do it, but they're going to do it, so you might as well educate people. You might as well make sure they're getting clean stuff so they're not killing themselves with a hot load. And, if they need something, rehab. I'm not in favor of at a park with needles and stuff like that. Just like, drink out in public. But at the end of the day, we got to end this drug war. It's doing too much damage. Yeah. And if we don't do this and we just continually double down, there's talk about going down with the military against the cartels. Okay, you want to play whack-a-mole? You want to do the same thing over again? And this time you're going to get you're going to get a different result? No, you're not. You're not.
I mean, it's overwhelming. Like it's like you can't win in this war, especially when the CIA info came out and they're really behind it. Like, so what were the cops thinking now? We did all this, we stopped this, we put this guy, we locked him up, and then now it's legal now? It's even more confusing. Like, let's let everybody out now. It don't make no sense to keep him in there for this bullshit. Like, I remember you could get locked up for a nickel bag back in the days.
You could get locked up felony for a seed back in the real, like before our day.
A seed? You could get
in the 70s, a seed. Felony.
Do you believe in that the process of because when I went to Amsterdam, I felt like they kept everything in Amsterdam, and then the whole outside community was normal. Everybody had a regular life, but if you wanted like cocaine, drugs, anything, porn, I mean whatever, prostitution, everything is in this one area. And I literally was smoking like weed in front of the cops. They didn't give a fuck in Amsterdam. And I was like, yo, why they don't do this same concept? I don't know. Maybe it's because we live in a city, maybe, or maybe technology. I don't know. But Amsterdam, I feel like because it's out there, it's hard to explain. Because it's out there and people are educated that if you go there, you're like part of like this fucked up. Either it's fucked up or a fun situation. I went and had fun. Like I couldn't believe like. Can you imagine like you go there and you're from America where it's like fucking illegal, but there's like a list of
coffee
weed.
shops.
You could pick what you want and you could buy you could smoke there. And then I smoked in front of a cop. Cop is like, what happened? What's up? I was like, this is crazy. Like, and then the African guys are selling drugs and shit, coke and everything. You can buy everything, but like, you know, if you see African guys together, you know they're selling like the heavy shit. But nobody's like really, everything is in that one part in Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? But why they don't create this concept? Like,
you know, I think everything in the United States follow the money. And so if you think about why a drug war works for the money, think about private prisons. Like you can buy stock in Marriott and you can buy stock in prison companies. Prison companies. So for you to make money, you're actually cheering for them to not let people out because the occupancy is higher. And also the prison guards union in California is one of the most powerful unions. They want more prisons. So when you start looking at this, and also most people don't know this, look at the budgets of police departments. They have asset forfeiture in there. So they need to get asset forfeiture. And here's another thing I didn't know when I became a police officer. They could take your car, your house, your money, and if they don't charge you with the crime, they don't have to give it back. Like you're going, wait a minute, you're lying, right? I'm not lying. It's true. What? So there's so many things that are just... they're not in the public interest. They're in the interest of money. And so that's what's really frustrating when you look at the drug war. And I've been speaking out about the drug war for 3 times longer now than I was a police officer. And I feel like it's been my penance to educate and say, look, I'm not a soft on crime person. If someone steals a car, they put a gun in your face, they shoot you, they should go to prison. I mean, but when it comes to drugs, we've destroyed poor communities. We've destroyed, 6% of the population are black males. 1/4 of that population is either in prison, on probation, or parole. And most of that is the drug war. And the other statistic is we're the most jailing population per capita on the planet. We talk about Russia and China where you don't have rights. Well, what kind of rights do you have when we jail more people per capita than anywhere else? I mean, we're the United States of America. We sit there talking about America and freedom, and we have a president who yesterday, and I don't mean to get on a rant, but he was speaking to
rant.
Al Sharpton introduced him. It was to a black crowd, and he was just touting all that he's done. Why don't you start with a 1994 crime bill that just go to YouTube and look that shit up.
Yeah.
And it's like, at least my participation in the drug war, I've said, look, I wish I had not been part of it. But at the end of the day, at least I'm using it for a positive today to try as my penance for my participation. I'm trying to educate and trying to change. Mr. Biden has a lot more power than I do. I appreciate you guys having me on, so at least I have a microphone today.
Yeah, for sure.
And then if you go to my Twitter, you'll see me just ranting and hollering, and but because I'm just tired of the status quo. And I actually communicate with prisoners. They call me on email. I've got some with paperwork into the pardon office where I'm saying I'll sponsor them. They have a place when they get out. They'll have at least a year of rent paid by me. If my company won't do it, I'll do it. And I'll even employ them. If they can't be employed in cannabis, I'll employ them in one of my other companies. Wow. So I want them out. And This nonsense has to end. It's a very interesting life.
This summer, what are we looking at? Like, what's going to be the update? Because interviewing you, we got to do part 2, 3, 4.
Are we going to do it up at the farm?
We got to do another way. Oh, can we do it at the farm? Can we go up there?
Yeah. You want to see 1 million square feet of great cannabis?
I'll probably get lost, man.
It'll be a good place to get lost.
Yeah, I know.
You may never want to find yourself.
You guys may not find me ever again.
Where's this guy at? He's supposed to be here doing the interview. He's gone. He's still over there.
Yeah, why are our plants yield down? What's going on with those plants?
Yeah, I give up.
Get lost in the farms.
Kyle, man, you did some historical stuff today, man. I know you got to go back and watch that shit on fucking Netflix. Like, he'd be like, oh, crazy and shit.
Tiger King, that was so crazy.
They've got one of our farms up there right behind.
Hey,
look at that!
Wow,
they are not messing around.
So we're gonna
not messing around.
I want the full experience, man. You gave us like really 1% of everything, but I want to go to. God, you saw that?
Yeah, that's why I put it up, Phuket. So you can see.
It's a drug
lord.
California cannabis. Shout out the website.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, I'm looking. I'm like,
Kyle got high in his own product. You can't get high on your own supply,
sorry,
man. He'll show this.
The worst interview ever. Just sitting here staring at you. Sorry about that on a radio show. So glasshousebrands.com. You just go to Glasshouse Brands.
Nice.
Publicly traded. So what I told a judge that was sentencing Jose Valero Jr. in 2022 for less than 8 pounds of cannabis. He got 7 years of hard time. Wow, I said, you know what's strange, Your Honor? You and the defendant, you guys could go set up a Charles Schwab account and buy my stock right now and benefit financially in legal cannabis in the United States while you sentence this young man with no criminal history to hard time.
Wow.
That's the craziness. But yeah, so Glasshouse Brands, love to get you guys up to the farm. It's about
for sure.
You guys are in Hollywood, so a lot of traffic out of here. But once you get up there, it's about an hour and a half from here, and it's unbelievable.
He's definitely won't mind driving there.
We'll make it worth your while.
Yeah,
we'll make sure you guys will be hooked up.
But we go to San Diego to get head from bitches, so we'll definitely come to your show. It's 2 hours to San Diego, right?
Yeah,
I hope I ain't in trouble with you.
Nah.
I'm sorry, man. I'm divorced.
Yeah. I know it's hard. This
is a crazy show. I'm loving this. I'm not used to this.
It's hard to stay in a relationship when this guy's your older cousin. And he drops a lot of bombs on you.
I would like to congratulate you. This is the longest relationship you've been in. Was it like 2 months?
7 weeks. 7 weeks.
The longest.
8 weeks next week. 2 months officially.
I sabotaged the last one. But anyway,
Who Kid has been working in the cannabis world as well. Recently just dropped his own strand, Houdini.
I smoked it.
You smoked
very
it,
tasty,
right?
Very tasty.
And it's been getting a lot of good feedback. So I was wondering if there's any opportunity for partnership. Maybe to get some of
Whose
Houdini's
house? At Glass House.
In Glass House.
Commercial right there.
So what I would tell you is this: for it to work for me, we got to get Who Kid out there to pick his strain.
Oh, wow.
Make sure it's grown the right way.
Oh, I could pick another one then.
That's what I'm talking about. Because to me, that is, look, it was really good. I loved it.
But we're going to mess with, so it could be, what do you call it? Like, was it Whose House, part 2? Or what do you call it?
I don't know. He got the idea, though. We got to
let's do it.
Here's the thing. We'll put some strains in front of you that'll be your strains. You can do that. And then it's easy. And then people know when I have that, one, it was selected by someone who really likes cannabis. It's kind of what Bernard did when he started Cookies. Mm-hmm. You knew that he was out there tasting and things like that. And so we could put some good stuff in front of you and go, man, I like that. This is why. So when you talk about it, people are going to know what they're going to get. And it's almost like a wine. It'll be like your wine.
Nice. And then how many stores do you guys have?
Right now we have 9.
9 stores.
9 stores.
And all are in Southern California? Or
no, we have one up in Berkeley. So we have 3 names. One in L.A. is called The Pottery. We also have The Pharmacy, spelled with an F, like farm.
Okay.
We've got 3 of those in Santa Barbara County. We have 1 in Orange County, and we have 1 up in Berkeley. And then
nice.
we have 3 stores that are natural healing centers along the Central Coast.
Oh, wow.
Like the San Luis Obispo area.
So you guys are pretty spread out.
We're pretty spread out. Look, you have to remember, California is the 4th largest economy in the world, the largest economy in the United States. So, while we like 9, I think we'll be, we're not in Fresno yet, we're not in Sacramento yet. But our brands are like some of the brands that you just saw out there. They're in stores all over the place.
Sweet. So besides getting Who Kid to choose a new strand, would it be possible to get the Houdini in the stores? For people to buy the one that you.
No, that's what we're gonna do. He's gonna pick it for me, and he's gonna put it in the stores, and I could be rich like him.
We can make it happen. Let me put it that way.
See.
I can
like
ask
I'm
a few
gonna lick
people
this
and see if
and
I
roll
can
a
make it
blunt.
happen.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I mean,
Don't you hate that? Where they be licking the blunts like
hey, that's how you had to seal the blunt, man.
Nah, man, they got pre-rolls. They're up to date, man. We're not in that hood shit, man.
The thing is, I feel like I'm one of the biggest potheads in my family. That's just like
You think you are?
I probably am. But his brothers is up there. But
My brother
his
is up there.
His brothers up there. But for me, it's kind of been. It was always looked down upon, as my family. I didn't really drink as much, but when I got into smoking, everyone was like, how bad this is for you. So, just changing the connotation around marijuana. How have you been able to do that with your peers? I'm sure, like some of your former peers from the police academy probably like, yo, what the hell are you doing?
Sometimes they say, what the fuck are you doing?
Damn.
You be like, get the fuck out of here.
Now, obviously not high when they're saying it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So, great question. And what I would tell you is this. I have a 22-year-old son named Keone. Keone loves this plant. And when I see he and his friends, they choose the plant over like White Claw and some of the other stuff. So the next generation is choosing this because they don't deal with that just say no bullshit that we all dealt with. When it comes to like
Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, when it comes to guys in their 50s and they're like, "Oh, yeah, I'm not against the plant, but they feel weird about it." We're all in pain, so I just get them, some CBD or I get them some sleep gummies. And all of a sudden it's like I've had so many of my retired police officer buddies go, "Nah, I'm not even for legal, but does that really help you sleep?" And I'm like, "Yeah, and it's not Ambien." And I hand it to them. And they're like, it's probably not going to work. And then I see them up at the dispensary, which they never thought they'd be. And so that's how you get them. And also like Mama Sue Taylor, she goes out and talks to the older community about pain and stuff like that. And she's always going, it's always the older guys will come up and like, okay, I like the pain stuff and all that, but I want to have a little bit of fun. And look, you're 80, have some fucking fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so it's going to be a process, but the biggest thing that I would tell you, and I appreciate both you guys because you're both professional, you're both very successful, and you're on camera saying, I smoke cannabis. And so it's not Cheech and Chong. It's not just potheads sitting there doing nothing, gaming in a basement. It's professionals. It's real estate brokers, lawyers, agents, cops. People are using cannabis. Your athletes that we all appreciate, even the Raiders.
Even the Raiders.
So
a little too much.
Maybe. We all need to come out a little bit, almost like way back in the 70s when they were like the gay movement was like, come out to your friends, come out to your family, because it's hard to hate people that you know. Now I'm saying the same thing about cannabis because I'm going to guess most of us. I know Marcus. Yeah, I see him. I know he uses. I use all the time.
Bud.
Hey, I use it all. Hey, Marcus actually blessed me with a lot of Glass House stuff. So I'm always. I'm always high, man.
He's like Santa Claus with it.
Yeah, man. I'm always high. He lives like right downstairs from me too, so it's like I got a dispensary in my building.
You see, when you can't get women, like by just talking and a look, you got to use what you got. And he's got a big bag of weed.
Shout out to Hardin, Las Vegas, the best dispensary in the world.
Can you give me the secret of living to your 100? It's not eating rice in Japan. Is it smoking weed or?
Man, that's another. This has been quite a show. I'm like, I don't know how I couldn't prep for this. How to live to 100. So I'm about halfway there.
I know we live half a century, man. I used to hang with Betty White. I was like, I tried to get it from her. Willie Nelson's still chilling, but that's weed. So I think weed is.
And Snoop's still dunking at 50. I don't know if y'all seen that video.
But Snoop is 50 like us.
Yeah, he's dunking. He's dunking the ball.
Snoop is dunking?
Yeah.
We went to
Snoop has game, Marcus?
Snoop super game. Like, he's nice.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, he is nice.
Like a hoop.
I saw him like clothesline Mark Cuban one time. That was crazy.
Wait, like Prince on Chappelle, kind of nice?
Yeah.
That
better watch him out, man. Snoop is coming for you.
Snoop is he's the nicest.
Gonna watch
he's
you.
He's the nicest player I've ever seen.
He clothed the hell out of freaking clothesline Marcus Cuban. Yeah, like Mark Cuban. Like, I was like, wow, this guy's ruthless.
Cuban, I don't think I pick him on the court.
He's nice. He's like white man can't jump.
Mark Cuban.
Yeah, he's actually nice, right?
So he's not a really good scout at talent. He can't measure talent in basketball.
I mean, I think Lil Bow Wow was nice too.
So he thinks Lil Bow was like, yeah, that was a movie.
He played at USC, didn't he?
Exactly.
No, that was Lil Romeo.
Lil Romeo, sorry.
He's the one that's
They had
hating
beef. They had beef growing up.
He hate his dad like me.
With Lil Romeo beef.
Fuck our dads, Lil Romeo. Fuck them, man. Fuck, my dad gave me socks, man. The fuck, Lil Romeo. I feel your pain, yo. Go to hell.
I think, though, to answer your question, I do think cannabis actually is great for a healthy lifestyle. I think, look, it's better than alcohol.
You said it.
I like it.
You said it.
And I drink alcohol, too, but that just makes me feel better, and it helps me with my CBD. And it just does. I think it does a planet good. So I really feel proud to be a part of this industry. And the one thing that I got to say, we have 2,700 federal prisoners. 2,700.
Get them out.
The president can get them out without trading the merchant of death to do it.
Damn.
He can
wow.
And he doesn't have to blame Putin. All he has to do is take his pen out. And right now he's backtracking and he's saying simple possession. That's fucking bullshit. Yesterday he was bragging about all he does for the black community. If he really wants to do right by the black community, he's going to let a lot of those black people out of prison, return their lives. You can't have a dichotomy in the law where I'm building this big company, others are doing the same thing, while you got all these folks locked up in cages. It's bullshit.
It's fucked up, man.
It's fucked up.
And this is my last question for you. So, I know that weed being legalized is growing a lot of other opportunities for other companies, but what about the black markets and the illicit markets? How do you sustain with those still, growing? People still going those routes. So how do you sustain with what you're doing?
It's really tough. The advantage we have is we have this crazy big facility, and we have a team that knows how to grow very cheaply because we have a lot of taxes in when you buy from us, and the illicit market doesn't. I would tell you that typically if you just make it easier for the illicit market to get into the legal market without all the barriers, it's the better way to go, and they've made it very, very difficult. And the other thing is, when you have all these growers and you don't have that big of a market, the growers can grow for the country and they're stuck in California, they're going to force a lot of those folks just to go to the illicit market because the federal government continues to keep it as a Schedule I drug. Nothing's changed. And that's the frustration is the majority of Republicans, the majority of Democrats, the vast majority of Americans want this plant decriminalized, and you got big pharma, dark money getting in the way. And Chuck Schumer and all those folks, it's bullshit. It's total bullshit. And you'll see a lot of, you'll just see a lot of new businesses in this industry go if they would just take the foot off the brake. Just let it happen.
You know what's crazy? When I did that live with Hardin, this is another dispensary in Vegas. They say they lost $22 billion on racism, which is crazy. Like the weed business, because of the politics and the bullshit and the licensing and opportunities, they lost like $22 billion. Like I was like, what the fuck, man? Damn. Racism, $22 billion because people are being shiesty and stupid shit like that. Like $22 billion, man.
Well, we pay
what
more taxes.
Doing? I want that money.
SiriusXM pays their taxes. We pay more because we can't write off a lot of our expenses because we're an illegal industry. So not only do we get no representation, but we get overtaxation. So it's hard for a legal company. We employ a lot of people. And a lot of these people have equity in the company, and it's hurting. This is just wrong in so many ways. The drug war continues and continues. So I speak loudest because even though we get overtaxed, even though I have to fight the illicit market, even all this, I'm not in prison. And when I get a call from Parker Coleman, he's served 11 years. He's got 50 to go. 50. What? And he can't even get hot water in a cold Texas maximum security prison for selling cannabis. And Ali, 7 years? Less than 8 pounds? We sweep up 8 pounds. You'll come up there and we'll walk past 8 pounds on the ground.
I know, man.
And we won't give a shit about it. So that's how crazy this is. So I always lean into that because we're going to have a good day. We're going to have a good night. I'm enjoying the hell out of this. And we got people locked in cages. It's just...
Get them out.
Get them out. And so I appreciate you letting me mention this on this show because it's a big deal.
I like when white guys get mad. My pants spaz out, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit looks crazy, right? I like that. We're not the only ones. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it's for the right reasons. So, it's for injustice and getting people out of jail. So I'm glad at the work that you're doing. We always gonna support you over here. So next time you come back,
part 2.
Somebody might call from the dead. DMX might call. I don't know.
Who knows, man? We got somebody.
Tiger King calling is crazy.
You know what's fucked up? He brought up the Shaq. What was his name? The one that they traded.
Ooh.
They traded.
The Merchant of Death.
So let me fuck his head up because I DJ'd for his Sweet 16, his daughter's Sweet 16. That's how he got caught in the U.S. because it was during that Sweet 16 show on MTV where they were leaking. But
we're not live, right?
No, we're not live.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I DJ'd the Sweet 16 for him, and he gave me like a vest with bullets on it. But I don't know. I had to tell you that before we get out of here.
Wow. Holy shit.
It's 50 Cent era.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, he was a 50 Cent fan. It was weird. He booked 50. Obviously, I DJ'd for 50 Cent, and then we didn't even know he was like. And that's funny that movie came out.
You didn't know who he was at the time.
He gave us a jacket full of bullets. Like the whole jacket's made out of bullets.
Let me ask this: both Ali and Parker have called me from prison, said, "Brittany Griner, we're good with that, but what about us?
Yeah,
what do you tell them?"
Damn.
Like that's it.
That's some real shit though.
But they asked me, and I'm like, guys, I'm working it, man. I'm shouting from the rooftops.
But you got 3. You got Tiger King on your list now. You got Tiger King and those 2 guys.
I came in here looking to solve problems. You gave me a new problem.
You just got a few more problems now.
My wife's not gonna be happy.
Yeah,
Tiger War. Now I'm in the war on Tiger.
We're out of here.
See ya.
Jokes Up Ice Cream Dispensary is the #1 cannabis dispensary in Studio City and Los Angeles, offering the highest quality and the best prices on ice cream cannabis. Jokes Up Ice Cream and Wicked will release Houdini this month.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.